My name is Janice Thompson, and I wish to discuss with you William Seymour and the Azusa Street Revival. He was a teacher, he was a writer, and he was the evangelist of the Azusa Street outpouring. But it was his humble and spiritual soul that touched the lives of all. People were so moved by his disposition, he would speak and they would really follow the Spirit of the Lord that used him. He mentioned in the book, William Seymour, pioneer of the Azusa Street Revival, how these changed people's lives. And they could become familiar with the term Pentecost, and with the evidence of the gift shown to the world as a speaking in an unknown tongue. This spiritual awakening brought unity in the world churches. Churches were united in unity, repentance, holiness, and racial reconciliation to its members. New denominations were formed. Churches were united as one. Others embraced the Pentecostal ways. Some of them made two churches out of the same with the same name, but with different theology. According to the Los Angeles newspaper in 1906, multitudes attended the revival every night, and miracles performed before their eyes. What made Seymour different from other ministers? That he reached the multitude between 1906 and 1909. He aided in over beginning 13 new Pentecostal denominations. He was involved with missions around the world, and he ministered a different message that still echoes in the hungry hearts of people today. Could it be his willingness to do what God wanted him to do? How did he influence so many people? Not from only the United States, but from around the world. Was the signs and wonders invested in the service and written in the word for others to see a drawn element for these? In the book Azusa Street Outpouring, he believed that the author believes there's two factors which help his influence during this time. One was the actual outpouring of the Spirit of God on Bonnie Brae Street, where hundreds was filled with the gift and the speaking of the unknown tongue. And number two was the earthquake, very destructive earthquake in Los Angeles, where the entire state of California was shifted at one time. These two events caused people to seek for help. In the book of William Seymour, it mentions that these two together helped compel the people to come. They came and they were changed, and they were set free to do his business for the rest of their lives. Perhaps the authors wanted to know how, when, and where the influence happened. He was a humble man. He put his head in an orange crate, and he waited for God to speak and to know when to start a service or what to say or do. Sometimes he prayed all night. How could it be? Where did it come from? When did it happen? We may never know on earth, but we do know that the Pentecostal denominations at the present day has 61 million membership, and they're still influential. In his book, the contents of it is written in a first person as you were there. Others was written read about William Seymour and how they felt and the facts that they had. A couple of them that I reviewed was an eyewitness account by Frank Bartman. He was one of the first people to write about the revivals of the Azusa Street. Reverend Seymour wrote his sermons. And I love the words that's on the front of this, the words that changed the world. According to the Life magazine, he was one of the men that had influence in the 20th century that was outstanding. The four sources that I used was William Seymour and the history of the Azusa Street outpouring. Pioneer of the Azusa Street revival. The Azusa Street Papers, which was the actual newspapers that Reverend Seymour wrote the account of what happened in the services. And True Stories of the Miracles of Azusa Street. This is another eyewitness book by Tommy Wachell and Michelle Griffith. All four was very interesting. Hope you enjoyed this.